Today I'm going to be speaking about naming practices for natural disasters in Australia, at least those in English. I've taken my inspiration from the 2000 sitcom Kath and Kim, which has been used in the Bureau of Meteorology's communication about cyclones. I'm restricting myself to cyclones, bushfires and floods, and I'll first talk about names and the concepts we see in natural disaster names. So I've got a list of a selection of natural disaster names. So we've got 2009 Black Saturday bushfires, 2021 Cyclone Kimi, 1974 Brisbane floods. So looking at the names, we can see a few concepts in them. So we've got time, we've got day, for example, in Black Saturday, and we've got place, Brisbane, Kangaroo Island, New South Wales. And in the case of cyclones, we have someone, and so someone's name, and these names can be conceived as men's names and women's names. So going to cyclone, cyclone is formed with cyclone and then someone's name. So for example, Cyclone Linda. Now, in most cases, a cyclone is referred to using the pronoun it. But when we drop the cyclone, we can sometimes see gendered pronouns. So Linda's a cyclone and she's coming our way. Hamish here is referred to as he. Following on from these gendered pronouns, we also sometimes see gendered language. For example, you can call a cyclone with a man's name a bastard. You can call a cyclone with a woman's name a bitch. And I like the example here of Debbie because it explains one of the attractions of using this kind of humorous personifying language about cyclones. A woman in North Queensland says, you've got to keep your sense of humor about it because if you don't laugh, you will cry. So quite traumatic events, but this humor is a coping mechanism. You can also see cyclone names having a hyperchoristic form. So tropical cyclone Damien becomes TC Damo, and Damo carries with it the implications of good feelings, familiarity, and toughness that this form carries. So cyclones particularly attractive to call someone because they're moving entities. On to bushfire names. We seem to see two patterns of bushfire names in Australia. So we find Red Tuesday, Ash Wednesday, and this pattern is black, red, or ash plus a time, could be a day or a season. The second pattern we see in Canberra bushfires, Esperance bushfires, and in this case, it consists of place and bushfires is obligatory. The most interesting pattern is the first one, and we see three elements feeding into this pattern. The first is black with a day, which is across English for a negative occurrence. We see the colours associated with bushfires, black and red. And the third element is the Christian calendar, which we see in Ash Wednesday. Ash Wednesday actually happened on the Christian holy day, but now a lot of people don't know about the Christian holy day and just associate the name with the actual bushfire event. And we've got the ash being very fitting. Flood names, we've got Brisbane floods, Toowoomba floods, Queensland floods, and so on. This is a more prosaic pattern, just consists of place and floods. And just speculating on a reason why we might see this simpler form with floods. It's been speculated that Australian English doesn't seem to attract as much flood vocabulary as other extreme weather events. There is the big wet, maybe that's one of them. But the reason for this, I think, is, well, flood's not a moving entity like a cyclone, and the physicality of a flood is disgusting. Bushfires can be very horrifying events, but people often see some beauty in the black and red colours. The other reason is that the flood water seems to hang around for days. It can't be as easily associated with a time. So that's just a thumbnail sketch of naming practices for natural disasters in Australian English. And I've got some references, which I'll just briefly put up.